Yeah, because it's
India.
India. No one cares about India.
Start there?
Welcome to the Dorm Room History Podcast. For this week, we're talking about a mystery item, and you get to guess what it is.
What's it gonna be?
Who knows? You may notice if you're a visual listener.
As most are.
Well, I guess you can't be a visual listener, but if you listen while also watching,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we're in a different location in the bedroom today. So
Whoa, in the bedroom?
in the bedroom, we're gonna see how it goes.
That's crazy.
But we're gonna start.
Don't worry, I have to look up stuff too. Also, I'm dressed like this. I have a meeting for an unspecified religious group that I'll be attending shortly. So
Who knows?
now everyone in the audience is probably thinking, man, is he a Sunni Islam or is he a Shia Islam?
If you've been paying attention in the class, you may know what those mean.
You may get that joke.
You may get that, but it's just for those who are
A higher level of learning.
yeah, just who are into the class. You know. Yeah. So, for this week in history, specifically on February 23rd in 1455,
Okay.
Johannes Gutenberg, and some of you may have heard Gutenberg and immediately been like, okay, well, now I know.
Okay, what kind of name is that?
Yeah. But if you don't know who Gutenberg is, he prints his first Bible. This is an estimated date. Obviously, we're not sure if it's exactly the day. But this is what we would assume is when the first ever Bible was
Based
printed on a printing
evidence.
press,
Yep.
which revolutionized the world because then you could you didn't have to copy down books by hand anymore. Education
Right.
became accessible.
If you wanted to look at the Song of Solomon, you just had it. You didn't have to go ask, and it was kind of weird.
Low-key, that's just what it was like
Yeah.
now. There you go. So with that, we're going to get into this top secret topic of what today's topic is. So I'm going to ask Michael now.
Did you guess the secret item? It's the
Hmm.
entire subcontinent of India.
Whoa, let's go.
But that wasn't on your radar of guesses you
Yeah.
could have had.
It's okay. If you didn't guess it, it's okay.
Well, let me. I was gonna intro the story. Let me just tell the story.
Okay, yeah. No. Tell your story now. Pretend like you don't know what's going on, guys.
Okay, throwback. So, like I was saying earlier, I served a mission for an unspecified religious group, and one time I was in Dallas on this mission, and I got home really late at night one time, and me and my companion, after we finished a long day of unspecified religious service, we sit down on the couch, and he lays there, and then he hears something
Whoa.
coming from outside, and he's like, "What's going on?" And we're actually on the second story of our apartment complex, and so he goes outside, and I expect him to go outside and come back and tell me what's going on. And he slides the door open, looks out, and he doesn't come back. And I'm like, "Dude, what's going on?" No answer. I walk out there and peek over the balcony, and there in the grassy field of Dallas is probably 300 plus Indian people
Whoa.
watching Minions on a big blow up screen.
Holy crap. I wouldn't come back inside either.
And he was shocked, to say the least. I mean, so was I.
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense to be shocked at something like that happening. I think that's pretty.
And so we're like, maybe Indians just love watching like shows on big screens. And so next time we had a conference, the virtual conference for the unspecified religious group, we were like, let's set up another screen and just play it really big. And like, believe it or not, Indians did show up.
Oh, let's go.
Like, not to the degree they show up for Minions,
Oh, okay.
but they did show up.
So they like that.
They do. They just like things on big screens, and
Okay.
and Minions too.
And Minions. Not to be racist, but
They like
this is just the observation that has been made.
This is just, I've done one study, and it's that.
Yeah.
And that's the results of
And
it.
that's all we know.
But yeah, the topic for today is India. We visited it before. Last time we visited India, the Indo-Europeans, also known as the Aryans, had come down and created a whole new Vedic culture.
I remember,
And
yeah.
we teased some religions last time. We teased Hinduism,
Whoa.
and we teased Buddhism.
Calm down.
And now we're about to go all in on these religions.
Whoa. Okay.
So, but the first thing you need to know is just about the geopolitical state that's going on.
Can we talk about the geopolitical
That
state?
was not even a joke. That was me being absolutely genuine.
Bro! Shout out to anyone who gets that reference. Shout out Jaden Smith.
Shout out Jaden Smith. Can we just talk about the geopolitical state of the world? At this time, India, on the borders of India, there was some Greek city-states left over from Alex the Great, who we mentioned last week. And Alexander the Great had left just a big Greek stamp. And so there's this new Indian guy. His name's Chandragupta.
Whoa.
Chandragupta Maurya is his last name.
Okay, and remember that, because there may or
Yeah.
may not be another person named Chandragupta.
They're unrelated, but they're
Yes.
both named Chandragupta. The first. This Chandragupta the
Someone's
first.
lying about that.
This guy conquers northwest India and then continues on down to the rest of India, and he creates what's called the Mauryan Empire.
Whoa.
Okay. He joins a religious group called the Jains, which is basically, it's kind of like you could almost say it's like a form of Buddhism. It's basically where you just, how do I say this? You deprive yourself of all luxury
Oh, okay.
in the world. And one of those luxuries he chooses to deprive himself of is food, so he starves himself to death.
So he becomes like a white high school girl.
Yeah, but then he finishes the job.
Oh, okay. Oh, he dies.
Yeah, he dies.
Okay.
But
Sorry
he
if
did,
that was a little insensitive, I guess.
Yeah, sorry. He did create the Mauryan Empire, though, so shout out to him. The dominant religion in India at this time still is Hinduism, though.
Okay.
But his grandson is named Ahsoka. You may have heard this name before.
If you are a big fan of the Clone Wars, you may know that's Anakin's apprentice.
Padawan.
Or Padawan, yeah.
If you have the Star Wars lingo, you know.
Yeah, same. Well, you know. I'm just trying to appeal to a wider
Right.
audience here.
Ahsoka Maurya, because remember they have the last name Maurya, they're the Mauryan Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka Maurya converts to Buddhism.
Whoa.
Hold up, we need to talk about Buddhism. real
Okay,
quick.
yeah, because now I got to figure out what's going on.
So
What's the
what
difference?
would you say like the average American knows about Buddhism?
The statue of the fat dude is probably what most people think of.
Right. Exactly. There's two different kinds of Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
There is Mahayana Buddhism
Okay.
and Theravada Buddhism.
Okay.
Mahayana Buddhism is the fat Buddha.
Okay.
Okay.
Type M.
Type M. Well, is that allowed?
I don't know.
Throwing up gang
I don't think that's a
signs.
gang sign. Just making an M.
We just did. The Buddhists are coming.
Uh-oh. It's like the Revolutionary War all over again.
The Buddhists are coming. The fat ones. The fat Buddhists.
The M.
Mahayana Buddhists.
Type M.
They believe in just living life to the fullest, man.
Hmm.
Eat, drink, be merry, be one with nature, be one with happiness, be one with joy. Indulge yourself.
They taking converts?
Yeah.
Okay.
My fiance always says, she wouldn't be opposed to looking into Mahayana Buddhism.
Shout out Addie.
Yep. The Mahayana Buddhism is the exact opposite of Theravada Buddhism.
Oh, okay.
Theravada Buddhism is, think of the homie who starved himself to death, Chandragupta Maurya, a lot closer to that.
Okay.
You deprive yourself of all things in life.
So take what would kill you and back it off just a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay, sick.
as close as you can, but make sure not to mess up or you're going to kill yourself by accident.
Oh, okay. But just back it off a little bit.
So you may be wondering, these sound like complete opposites. How are they the same religion?
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, you're right, but there's some things they have in common. Let me pull up a chart just to make sure I get all of these.
Okay.
But there's a couple things. One is called the Four Noble Truths.
Okay.
Okay, and these are common among all kinds of Buddhism. So these are like the four.
Water, earth, fire, air.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, water, earth, fire, air, and like a couple more things. I mean, you could exchange. Honestly, you could exchange them for each. Like for water, they just have suffering.
Suffering.
So I'm
Okay,
gonna
suffering
say-
is the first truth.
Basically, just like all life is suffering.
Oh, okay.
That's the first truth.
Whoa.
Everything about life, you just suffer.
Let's go.
Truth number 2. What are the causes of suffering?
Mm-hmm.
When you attach yourself to anything. So all life is suffering because you've like attached yourself to things. Like if you like love sleep a lot, then that is the cause of your suffering because at some point you're not going to get to sleep.
Okay. So everything is an addiction.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Third truth is the goal of life is to not suffer at all. So that's kind of why they're depriving themselves of everything is like if you don't like enjoy anything or care about anything, you won't suffer.
Okay. Why not?
Checking so far.
Yeah. Why not?
And then the fourth truth you may think is also about suffering, but it's not. It's,
okay.
It's follow the Eightfold Path.
Oh.
Now,
Which we all know.
Well, students listening may be like, oh man, now I want to know what the Eightfold Path is.
Yeah.
Well, you're in luck.
Oh, okay. Wait,
We're
are we
talking
gonna?
about the Eightfold Path?
Oh,
Right now.
sick. Okay.
So the Eightfold Path, there's 8 steps to it, but I mean, you don't need to know all these things. Like if you're
Oh.
if you're in the class, you don't need to know all the. But I'm just giving you an idea of what Buddhism is.
Okay.
The-
Conceptualize with us, if you will.
it's kind of like the covenant path.
Okay.
You're walking a path to righteousness to achieve. Because it basically, if you follow the Eightfold Path, then that's kind of like a plan to detach yourself from everything, and therefore you won't suffer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Rid yourself of all attachments.
Right.
Oh, this is a lot like the Jedi.
That's why. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's why they came up with Ahsoka.
Whoa.
I'm
I
just
see you,
waiting-
George.
I'm just waiting for the next Jedi to be called Siddhartha Gautama.
That would be pretty sick.
He's an influential guy in Buddhism.
Or
Yeah.
Chandragupta.
Or Chandragupta, Maria.
Yeah.
And they could have another one named the first.
Mm-hmm. Or
There's
Glub
3 of them.
Shido.
Oh, what? Is that a Jedi?
No, that's a Star Wars character.
Oh, okay. Who's the guy you were talking about last time? Ben something?
Ben Quadrinos.
Maybe him.
Maybe him. I just like that you could look up Star Wars names and you could read them and be like, that might be real, that might not. If you're like AI, make up some Star Wars names, you're like,
Should I have it do it right now?
sure, man. If you got time for that.
Hold on, let me just see what it says.
Okay, yeah. So ask AI to make up some Star Wars names real quick.
Well, so in response, AI said, here's some original Star Wars names. Vorajex,
Mm.
Tavik Solari,
I believe it.
Zyra Kale.
No.
Oh, it even provided me with some planets
Oh, okay.
and starships.
Oh, whoa.
And then says, want me to expand on any of these with backstories?
Whoa.
So if you have free time and you don't know what to
Dang.
do.
AI can't make my bed, but it can make up Star Wars names.
And stories to go along with
That's
it.
sick.
Anyways, let's hit the Eightfold Path now.
Yeah, yeah.
So, the right understanding,
Mm-hmm.
the right thought, the right speech, the right action, the right livelihood, the right effort, the right mindfulness, and the right concentration.
Okay.
You
So
do
it's
all those
like-
things, you can rid yourself of suffering.
Don't be wrong is basically the Eightfold Path.
Yeah, it's that easy.
Dang. All right. Well, if anyone wants to get on the Eightfold Path, I am selling a course. It's only $500, and you'll be
Link
happy.
selling right now.
Yeah. So
And pretty much you just give the money and then listen to this.
go ahead and hop down to the link in the description. Buy my Eightfold Path course. Whoa.
Hold please.
Welcome to Query Corner. Today, coming to you from an actual corner where I'm sitting right now.
Let's go.
Yeah. So today I'm going to ask Michael questions like we usually do in Query Corner, and he's going to hopefully answer them.
It's my job.
Thank you for asking. How? Okay, in Rome,
Oh, this is a
Okay.
good start already.
and Roma, as they'd say in Latin.
As they would say over there, across the pond.
In Roma, when you have free people in Rome,
Mm-hmm.
and they also did slaves
Oh, yeah.
because everyone did slaves.
You best believe.
But Rome's slaves were just kind of people that they conquered,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they could be white, could be black.
Right.
How do you keep track of who's free and who is a slave?
That is a great question.
Thank you.
There wasn't like a okay. This is complex and hard to understand because we live in a society that's not like this. But in Rome, honor and sticking to the rules was like extremely, extremely, extremely important to them. Like no matter what, the rules, you stuck to the rules.
Mhm.
Always. And there's this idea of like just little things that you would not even think about, like, jaywalking. Like a Roman would not be able to fathom that. They would be disgusted by the idea of jaywalking,
Yeah.
right?
You should be shot.
Or going 1 over the speed limit.
Oh,
No, not
Kill
a
yourself.
chance. Like you can't do that, right?
yeah.
And so it's hard to believe this because you'd be like, why don't slaves just not care about this? But that culture was so ingrained in Roman society that slaves were even to the point. I mean, there were slave revolts, don't get me wrong. There was 3 servile wars. And the fact that there were 3 of them, like, means that there was a lot of slave revolts.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this culture of you do not break the rules was passed down even slaves
Oh.
believed it.
So they just let you know I'm a slave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a story of one guy. We talked about him last week. His name is Gaius Gracchus.
Mm-hmm.
And he is running away from the senators who are trying to kill him. And he's running away with his slave. And he basically is like, look, they're going to torture me and do all this horrible stuff to me. So slave, can you just stab me instead? And the slave's like, yeah. And so the slave stabs him, but the punishment in Rome for killing your master is death. And so then he kills himself afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they just have extreme loyalty to the state to a point that like we don't even understand, but slaves are following the laws very, very much. Like no one, like, that slave could have tried to run away or tried to do anything, but he killed himself because he was like, that's the punishment.
Okay.
So.
Sick. Okay, cool. So next question. I'm in ancient Mesopotamia. Is there a place where I could get some good quality copper? I want to see if you're going to get this.
No, I mean, well, not that I know of. I know there's a big transition in ancient Mesopotamia from bronze to tin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know where the copper mines would be. Usually, I mean, the most important...
Well, here's the actual reason I'm asking.
Okay.
Because this is one of my favorite memes.
Okay.
So there was a tablet that was discovered, I think pretty recently. It was created around 1750 BC is the estimate.
Oh, man. Okay.
But it measures 11.6 centimeters by 5 centimeters. And it was discovered by Sir Leonard Woolley in Ur.
Okay.
From around 2015, it looks like. But what this tablet has on it, there's a man in Mesopotamia named Nasir.
Okay.
Okay. And the content of this tablet is a complaint from a man named Nani, who is basically just talking about how this guy's copper sucks. And it just, the whole tablet is just like a bad review for his copper. Like, the copper was low quality. It was delivered not on time. It is the incorrect grade. There's issues with another delivery he had.
Issues with another delivery?
He also
it's like eBay.
Yeah, no. He also complained that his servant who handled the transaction had been treated rudely. He stated that at the time of writing, he had not accepted the copper but had paid for it.
It's literally eBay, dude.
Yeah, and so Nasir was part of a group of traders called Alik Tilman, or the Dilmun traders, known from other texts who had been active in the 11th and 19th regnal years. But basically, I just love this tablet because it's just basically a bad review for this guy. And so people on the internet make jokes about it all the time. Like, dang, wish I could get some good copper, but I know who I'm not going to.
Dude, it just shows you how, like, similar ancient people were to us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have libraries and stuff. They couldn't do all the crazy medicine stuff we can do today. But, like, the homies were just the same.
But they'll let you know, hey, your copper sucks and you suck for trying to sell it to me.
Never buy from this company ever.
Never buy from Nasir's copper.
Nope.
So there you go. Well, thanks for listening to Query Corner this week, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Hopefully you learned about copper.
Yeah, that was our goal for this week.
That was the goal for this week's Query Corner. But with that, we're going to send you right back into learning about other things. India. Well, okay, I wasn't going to let them know. Sorry. But other things.
Other things.
We'll see what you think about it. Bye.
There's one more part to Buddhism that develops later, probably. Mm-hmm. And we don't know if the Buddhism stole this part from Hinduism or Hinduism stole this part from Buddhism.
Right.
But this is the part of Buddhism you're probably most familiar with.
Okay.
It's called Nirvana.
Ooh.
And they wrote a song called Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah. Just think about it. There's a connection if you really think about it. But I can't say it.
Okay, I don't get. Maybe I'll just have to think about it more
just
later.
Just think about it. Yeah.
But Nirvana is when you basically leave this life behind and achieve no suffering. You kind of just disperse out into the wilderness or the ether or whatever.
It's like when Master Oogway turns into like 1,000 peach petals.
Exactly that.
Okay.
That's exactly what Nirvana
Think Master Oogway when you think Nirvana, because no one has achieved Nirvana quite like him.
No one has. But this is the religion that Ahsoka converts to, right? So Ahsoka is the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya the First.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm out of here. I'm done with Hinduism. Mm-hmm. I'm Buddhist now.
Right.
Big family drama.
But hold, because next we're going to hit the Gupta Empire.
Okay.
And it's founded by someone named Chandra.
Okay.
Chandragupta.
But different one.
The first.
A
different one.
Different one.
So don't get them confused.
Whatever you do, remember the two different Chandraguptas and that they're not the same.
And this one's ruling the Gupta Empire. So this one's around 320 AD to about 590 AD.
Okay.
And the main religion of this one is going to be Hinduism.
Oh.
Okay, so this religion's probably older than Buddhism. They both originate in India, but this is still the dominant religion in India today. Okay. This along with Islam as well. But this one is born and bred in India.
Okay.
And we talked a little bit about Hinduism last time, but it's a polytheistic religion, so that means they believe in a lot of gods.
Mm-hmm.
Well, depending on the Hindu you talk to, they might not say they're polytheistic because
Okay.
they believe there's like one god and he takes a lot of different forms. But it's kind of like lots of gods. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not educated enough to make to
Yeah.
weigh into that argument.
But just think about it.
Just think about
Look
it.
it up.
You ever seen those pictures with like dudes with lots of arms and stuff
Mhm.
and the red dot on their head? That's the Hindu gods.
Oh, okay. I could see that. Yeah, I get it.
The Hindu religion has some important words. We talked about one of these last time, moksha.
Mm.
Do you remember? Oh, we didn't talk about moksha. I meant we talked about dharma last time.
Dharma.
Moksha we're going to talk about in a second because it's related to it. Dharma is when you fulfill your divine identity or
Yeah.
your divine responsibility.
You have like a purpose in life. That's
Mhm.
your dharma. You got to go achieve your dharma.
Right. And based on how good you do with your dharma, you're going to get a certain kind of karma.
Yeah. The dharma turns into karma, turns into nirvana.
Close.
Okay.
Turns into moksha.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, that's where we'll get to that. So basically, if you do, and we have to go back to talk about the caste system before we can get to moksha.
Okay.
The caste system is a bunch of different social classes that you're born into.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move to a different caste during this life,
Mm-hmm.
but you can if you do your dharma really well and achieve great karma.
Okay.
Then you can move up a caste.
Mm.
So there's a bunch of different castes.
Because they believe in reincarnation.
They do believe
you
in
come back in
reincarnation.
a
Right.
higher caste.
There's the Brahmins, which are the top caste, and that's
Mhm.
made up of priests and teachers.
Okay.
You have the Kshatriyans, which is the next caste, which is made up of warriors and rulers.
Mm-hmm.
The Vaishnas, which is made up of farmers and traders, is next. And the Shudras were the bottom caste for a long time. They're kind of the laborers until recently, well, more recently in history, they added a caste called the Dalits, which is like the untouchables
Oh,
that you may be familiar with if you know anything about India today.
okay.
Dalits are very, very oppressed.
The
Even though,
Dalits.
according to India, the caste system is no longer.
Mm.
But,
But it's just tradition at this
Right.
point. Okay.
it's one of those things like if you're in a big city, like they're gonna be like, yeah, the caste system is over with, but out in the country, it's like, nah, I was born a Dalit, I'm still.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still a
Gotcha. It's kind of like racism.
Dalit. Kind of like racism.
Okay. Sick. In case you were like thinking, I wish there was different kinds of racism that we still did.
In case you're wondering, in case you were hoping that people that were all the same race were still found a way to be racist, they do.
They do find a way to be racist. So
But if you do your job,
they're doing better though.
in India, they're
Yeah,
working on
They're
it.
getting better.
Yeah, actually, the president of India right now is a Dalit,
Oh,
so that's kind of crazy.
that is
right?
kind of cool.
And I actually don't know what Gandhi was. I should know that. I knew at one point what caste Gandhi was.
Oh. I had no idea he was a caste, but
Well, he's Indian, so of
well,
course
yeah.
he's a caste.
I guess now that I think about it, he's got to be. Yeah.
You gotta be one of them.
Okay.
But if you do your dharma really well, which is like your divine job,
Mm-hmm.
you'll achieve great karma, and that means you'll move up a caste.
Mm-hmm.
If you do bad things, you'll get bad karma, and then you move
Oh.
down a caste.
Okay.
And like if you get so low, you could be reincarnated like even as an animal or like a woman.
Oh. Oh.
That's
Yeah.
not my stance. That's just the stance of Indians.
Not our opinion, but that was history.
That's just what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
But the as you move up each caste, the very top one, the Brahmins, which is made up of the priests and the teachers,
Mm-hmm.
if you get there and you do your job very, very well and you end with great karma, there's no caste for you to go higher to.
Whoa.
So you achieve moksha,
Oh.
which is the same as nirvana.
Okay.
So that's where you get the crossover between Hinduism and Buddhism. It's like you basically
Oh.
master Uwe it again.
Okay, because Nirvana is Buddha.
Yep.
Moksha is like Hindus.
hmm
Nirvana.
And you see they have different paths to get there, but they're
Mhm.
kind of similar-ish.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
The ultimate goal is just to achieve this peace where you kind of dissolve into the universe.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Let's go ahead and hit a couple more parts of just Indian society real quick.
Well, we're gonna hit parts of Indian society, so prepare yourselves.
There's a word called asceticism.
Mm-hmm.
That's an important word to know. It's basically just that Jainist idea of depriving yourself of things.
Okay,
Just wanted to review that because I don't think I specifically mentioned that term.
so think like starving yourself when you think asceticism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But other than that, I just want to do this is I know this is gonna be a shorter episode,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want to do a quick review because I said a lot of Indian words
Yeah.
today.
Hard to remember that stuff you never heard before.
So I want to go back and just talk about some of the Indian words really quick. So first you have the Mauryan Empire. founded by
Chandragupta
the first.
the first.
Then you have the Gupta Empire, founded by
Chandragupta the first.
And in case you're just listening to this and not reading anything about him, the first Chandragupta doesn't have a space in his name. The second one does have a space. Yeah. That's how you can tell them apart.
You can remember the first one, Chandragupta the first. The second one's Chandra, last name Gupta. The first. Right.
Because the first empire is the Mauryan Empire, because he's actually Chandragupta Maurya, the first guy. And then the second one is Chandra space Gupta, so his empire is going to be the Gupta.
So that's how you remember it.
Chandragupta Maurya,
the first one,
grandson, is Asoka.
Okay.
Who adopts Buddhism.
He's the one who brings Buddhism.
Word.
Yep.
And then Chandra space Gupta, the leader of the Gupta Empire, he adopts Hinduism as a state religion.
Okay. Back.
Right. Back to what it already was before.
Yes. So when the question comes up, Chandra space Gupta, what would he buy? He would buy Hinduism.
He would buy Hinduism, if he could.
If he could.
If he walked into a corner store.
And then when the question comes up, what would Asoka buy? He would buy Buddhism.
He would buy Buddhism.
Yeah.
And if you wonder what Chandragupta Maurya would buy, he would buy Jainism and starve himself.
And starve himself to death.
So if those three walked into your corner store, you don't need to ask them.
Yeah, you
just
already know.
Just go get what they want.
Grab them a pack.
From behind the counter.
From behind the counter.
No need to ID.
No need to ID. You already know what they want.
The two religions we talked about, Buddhism, you have the Four Noble Truths.
Okay.
And one of those noble truths is you got to follow the Eightfold Path.
Yep.
Right. You have the two types of Buddhism. Theravada Buddhism, which today Theravada Buddhism is extremely popular in India.
Okay.
Mahayana Buddhism, the Fat Buddha, is extremely popular in China.
Okay.
And in very East Asian countries.
But you got to remember M-type. That's you eating a lot. I mean, that's not really what it means, but like you believe in living good. I just like to think of things.
Rip in peace the Mauryan Buddhists listen to this. All they know about is they eat.
Well, I just makes it easier for me to remember things when I just think about food.
Okay, well, me too.
So.
Dad, Papa John's today.
What the fetch?
I know.
Dude, I was thinking about going and get some Little Caesars right by our house.
It's good, dude.
That might be good, just a whole pie.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maurya, that's getting the whole Little Caesars for yourself.
Okay.
What's the other one? Theravada. That's like, whatever you do, do not walk into Little Caesars.
Stay away from Little Caesars.
Stay away from Little Caesars. Eat just enough that you don't die.
And then the ultimate goal of each religion is kind of to disperse into the universe and achieve ultimate happiness, right?
Ultimate peace. The need for nothing, so you just leave. You need nothing anymore. So you just become one with the universe.
And in Hinduism, it's because you climbed the caste system enough and achieved moksha. And in Buddhism, it's because you followed the Eightfold Path enough and achieved nirvana.
Yes. Smells like Team Spirit.
It smells like Teen Spirit.
Exactly.
Dude, I have a challenge for anyone listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
If you can, don't cheat, but if you can go to listen to Smells Like Teen Spirit and write down what the freak they're saying. I probably listen to this afterwards, and you'll not be able to understand what they're saying.
Dude, wait, that's true. Actually, I never thought about that. Oh wait, no.
Do you know any words from that song?
How does it start? I'm trying to think. Even it's like
Should I play it?
No, don't play it. Hum the melody.
I'm just blanking now, dude.
Okay, well, we both forgot what it sounds like. I was
when I was challenging people, I knew what it sounded like. That was why I challenged people.
Well, I was thinking of Teenagers by My Chemical Romance, I just realized, which is a good song,
or
too.
Teenage Dream?
No.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Teenage Dirtbag, though, by Wheatus.
That's a good one.
So I got your tickets to
I'll never forget that melody.
Baby. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's it?
I'm going to listen to that song after this.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's going to be it for today. I know it's a quick episode, but...
No, good time.
We cranked through those.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Crank and Hog in India today. That's pretty much what we have to cover. Yep. You'll make it. But with that, we're just going to go ahead and play it out. She's selling at tickets to Iron Maiden, baby. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby like you. Ooh. I'm glad we had the same idea.
Dude, that was awesome.
You're welcome. Okay,
do you want to do the career corner or do you want to skip it?